the world to them for getting us to this moment here. Curacao versus Canada, and the Canadians will come up to the plate after what was a really difficult first inning for them in their first game. Gave up 8 runs in that top of the first. They'll be opposed by Juan Ramon Cleto Ferreras, whose favorite team is the New York Mets, who've been trading everybody left and right over the last few hours.
Yeah, hopefully his season doesn't go like the Mets. They have been struggling so far this year.
For the team from Curacao, number 15, Juan Ramon Cleto Ferreras.
As we hear the announcement.
For Canada, number 9, Nathaniel Cote.
So Nathaniel Cote, who featured as a pinch runner in the first game, will lead off from the left side. The first pitch to him is way outside, ball 1. Cote will be the DH for Team Canada. So far, Cleto Ferreras not getting on top of that fastball.
Well, one of the things that we saw was that Canada can really swing the bats. They found a way to get back in that game. And over the course of their regional, they could really, really hit. They put up a ton of numbers.
Well, this is the group they're rolling out for their second game in pool play. Take a good look at Brian Labonte. He is sort of the anchor of this order. Keeps things stabilized for the team from right outside of Montreal. Even count now for Cote. That's well outside.
Another thing to think about, though, is the Canadians are unfortunately, they're not able to play baseball for half of the year up there with that kind of weather. Curacao, you can play all year round.
Full count pitch, it's high for ball 4, and Canada saw a lot of that against Czechia. Boy, did they make them pay for it. Canada issued 10 walks, but drew 9 of their own on offense. And in this tournament, as we've seen, walks turn into doubles pretty quickly.
Yeah, we've seen a ton of stolen bases, and it's to be expected, right, at this point of these guys' career. They're young, and then it's really hard to throw somebody out at second base. So why not force the issue? Make the defense throw you out at second base.
So Cote aboard in front of Malik Dauphiné. He's pushed off the plate. Ball and no strikes. Dauphiné went 0 for 2, drew 3 walks, had an RBI, and scored a run. Though it wasn't the prettiest game in the world for Canada or Czechia by any stretch of the imagination, it was impressive that Canada was able to find the will to come back against Czechia after being down by 8 runs as early as they were.
It was almost like the game was in 2 parts. The first part, Czechia all over it. They were going to win that game. And then all of a sudden, around the 3rd inning or so, it just turned in Canada's favor, and they were able to storm all the way back.
A lot of that credit goes to the Team Canada coaching staff, as Perez Spitaleri will throw behind the runner. Benoit Blaise, he's the manager of this Canadian team, and they're young guys. A long trip to get here to South Carolina, only to have all that emotion and momentum pretty much be thrown by the wayside after really bad first inning showing. Credit to his leadership and this team's chemistry to come back in a game like that. So far, Juan Ramon Cleto Ferreras has struggled to find the zone. 3-1 pitch, up and in, back-to-back walks.
Based on what I'm seeing so far from Cleto Ferreras, he's just moving a little too fast. He's a little excited. He's getting the pitch, he's getting to his set, and then immediately going. He needs to find a way to slow it down internally. It looks like he's got a good arm, but right now he's missing high. And when you're missing high, a lot of times that means that arm angle is just not getting downhill. So he's releasing that ball a little bit earlier than he needs to. He needs to find a way to get downhill and throw some strikes.
Now it's Justin Paquette. Alternating lefties and righties so far to start in this order. 2 walks to lead off the inning for Canada with nobody out. And Paquette will let that pass. 1-1. 1 through 7 in Canada's order in game 1. Each of them drew at least 1 walk.
Tell you what, one good recipe to lose ball games is to walk a lot of people. One way to win, get walked.
Paquette lays down a beauty of a bunt. Clayton Ferreira scampers off the mound. The throw is wide. It's going to ricochet off the fencing. Throw to the plate is in time. They got him. What a recovery by Hinkle at first to find the baseball, throw it home, and retire the runner at home plate. See if Canada wants to take a look at this, but what was a disaster of a play turned into an out.
A great bunt by Paquette and an ill-advised throw, and it looks like the second baseman covering and backing up makes a strike of a throw. DeCaster really heads up play, backing up the throw. He throws this ball home, and just an absolute bullet strike home to get the out in a huge turn of events here in the top of the first.
So a lot of moving parts to the scoring on that. I would assume it's a single with a throwing error by the pitcher that advances Dauphiné to third.
And the old 1-4-2.
The old 1-4-2 put out. You see it every day. The big cut by Alex Gaudreau. Makes it an 0-2 count.
And that little play right there with a lot going on is all of a sudden given Clayton Ferreira a little bit of excitement. He's starting to throw some strikes, you know. It gave him some momentum back in his favor, which Curacao desperately needed. It's still first and third, only one out, but he's ahead in the count 0-2 versus getting down in the count with those early balls.
You never know what you're going to see in the Senior League World Series. Canada, a golden opportunity here against Curacao. See if they put Paquette in motion. He stays put, popped up, foul ground. Sophia Jacobus has enough room to haul it in. Just enough space, just enough foul territory, and just like that, Curacao has 2 outs.
Just when you thought it was going to be 1-0 with nobody out, they get an out at home plate, and then this ball just stays in the park. A good job by Jacobus to get over there and find that fencing, make sure he has room, and then squeeze that pop-up, and that's 2 outs. And Curacao with the opportunity to get out of this inning in fine fashion, not giving up a run if they can get one more out.
Brian Labonte, who was 2 for 4 with an RBI and 2 runs in the opening game, has a big chance here. Clayton Ferreira has really settled in nicely. Tied him up. That's a great pitch.
Right on the inside corner. Nothing you can do if you're the catcher, Labonte, but look at that one.
Runner got a great jump. Clayton Ferreira will throw down. Runner's coming home. He's going to be safe. Throw back down to second. They've got him in a rundown. Throw to first. Tag dropped. Everybody's safe. Canada scores the opening run.
What a play by Canada. They went into their bag of tricks right here and sent the runner, Paquette, early to draw the throw. He wanted to get in a rundown, and here it is. They get in a rundown. They score the run. This is an ill-advised throw. It was late to home plate, but then they get the runner, Paquette. They were going to get him at first base, and the ball is dropped by Hinkle, and Paquette back in there, no problem. They were going to trade an out for a run, and luckily for Canada, they got a run without an out, and they're still in this inning.
That's a 4-2-6-1 that doesn't result in an out. 0-2. Pop back our way. Another look at the tag.
Yeah,
and it looks like
him.
He got him on the body.
He did, but that's what made.
Might have the ball back.
Yeah, might have had an opportunity to challenge on the replay right there. Sure looked like they had at least an idea that he might be out on that second tag.
I don't know if I loved the decision by the catcher to throw down to second there.
It was the pitcher, right? It was an early
correct.
move, right? So he's just trying to get in a pickle.
Now the catcher does throw down to second. It was a bullet. It finds its way into center. That's one heck of an arm by Perez Spitaleri. So he actually does throw down to second this time. It's not the pitcher, I beg your pardon, but Canada has yet another runner in scoring position.
Yeah, it's a pretty smart play by Canada. You're just trying to get a run right there, getting a run down. You'll get the run across and then take the out. They were fortunate enough to get out of that without giving up an out. Now they've got a runner in scoring position.
So it's 1-0 Canada with a chance to add on here. And LeBon putting up a great fight.
Yeah, good battle right here between Cleto Ferreras and LeBon. A couple balls fouled straight back, but it does look like Cleto Ferreras starting to settle in a little bit more comfortable with that leg kick and delivery.
2-2 in the air to center. Riquet charges in, and while the shortstop drifts out to make the play. Canada, with some great base running, takes a 1-0 lead. We'll see Curacao. Thomas Bilodeau, the 15-year-old, 6 feet 1 inch, 165-pound right-hander, will go to work against one of the favorites in this tournament, Curacao, who has had sustained success in the Senior League World Series. Daniel Perez Spitaleri will lead things off. First pitch to him, and he's wasting no time. He fouls it away to the left side, 0-1. Big issue for Canada has been throwing strikes. And this Curacao lineup will make you pay if you give them too many chances with runners aboard. Manager Charlton Morite trying to repeat what the 2023 Willemstad Curacao team did and win the Senior League World Series. Perez Spitaleri has a keen eye, now a 3-1 count.
I like what you're seeing, though, from Bilodeau. Pretty firm fastball, breaking pitch already. He has an interesting windup. He obviously goes from the stretch, but a little bit different leg kick than you normally see from a right-hander. He kind of tucks that knee underneath versus bringing it up to his chest. Whatever works.
Whatever feels comfortable. Right now, a full count. Last inning began with back-to-back walks. Bilodeau running the risk of granting a free pass should he miss the strike zone here. And he won't. Ground ball hit to second. Tremblay covers the ground and makes the play to first. So good battle by Bilodeau. The defense for Canada from left to right in the outfield. McMahon, Paquette, and Gauthier. Arsenault, Dauphiné, Tremblay, and Gaudreau on the infield with Labont in harness for Thomas Bilodeau. Has to be a good feeling for Canada to get that first out. It took them quite a while to do so in their last game. In fact, Canada went through 2 pitchers before they recorded their first out against Czechia. Davy J. Riquet.
It sure seems like they might have been saving Bilodeau for this opportunity because he does have some pretty firm fastball and a good breaking ball. I thought the first breaking ball he threw was right over the middle of the plate. Called a ball, though.
Jadelyn Weil pops it up. A mile high on the infield. Who's going to get it? It's Dauphiné, the sure-handed shortstop. 2 quickly retired. Yadiel Tecaster can't hold up his swing. We'll see if they appeal down. He didn't. Looked an awful lot like a swing from our perspective.
Sure did, but he managed to hold it up.
Part of the 2025 Little League World Series team. Let's take a look at this swing again.
Yeah, that's an offering. That would be considered an offering, but that's all good.
He jackknifes out of the way of that fastball, 3-0. Great umpiring crew. They are all volunteers and have done an excellent job, if I do say so myself.
They really have, yeah. Most of these amazing umpires come, they obviously are volunteers and they have a lot of fun doing this. So it's fun to see these guys out there. And I can promise you, in the big leagues, they don't get all the calls correctly. So it's a tough job for these guys. And the lovely thing about this opportunity is it's Senior League World Series, and everybody's got a lot of sportsmanship. You don't have to worry about the fans from Philly or St. Louis yelling at you.
Kishore Hinkle will take strike one. It's Juwan Bosch calling balls and strikes behind the plate. He's seen a lot of strikes, a lot more than the last umpire did when Canada was pitching. This is weakly grounded, left side. Arsenault charging in. Gloves, grips, guns to first in plenty of
dirt. He went as soon as that ball hit the dirt. That's exactly how you draw it up, and an easy glide into second base. Canada's got something cooking again here in the top of the second.
2-2. Driven to left. That's sinking it down for a base hit. They're going to hold the runner at third. A good throw in by Acosta Fernandez. And Canada has him set up on the corners with only one out.
Another good at bat by these Canada bats as they take to the plate, really working the count. And then you see this, it's just a pitch down over the middle of the plate. And Gauthier is able to slap it into left field. A little bit of hesitation there by McMahon at second base, so unable to score, probably the right call. Only one out, don't want to force an out at home. He's still got some outs to work with.
Gabriel Tremblay is familiar with hitting in this spot. He's the 9th place hitter in game one. He was 1 for 4 with an RBI and 2 runs scored. We'll see how creative they get. Remember, Canada scored their first run off of a stolen base play. They put the runner at first in motion, got him in a rundown. Malik Dauphiné scored easily, and everybody ended up being safe.
Another thing to think about right here, I was thinking, hey, maybe this guy in the 9-hole, Tremblay, possibly lays one down for a bunt, but you look at Jacobus at third base for Curacao. He's in on the grass exactly what he should be to try to mitigate that bunt attempt.
Runner going, throw goes to second. It's into center field. Another run's going to score on a throwing error. The play at the plate is late. And another error will advance Gauthier into third.
A lot to unpack right here, Stefan. Another cannon of a throw by the catcher Spitaleri, but he just, unfortunately, in between hop to the shortstop, he can't handle it, and that's going to allow the runner, McMahon, to score. Well, I say easily. We thought it was going to be easy, but an absolute cannon by Reich out in center field, and it made that play close. But as it stands, the Canada base runner McMahon able to get in there, and that's the second run for Canada. Also moving up to third base was Gauthier, and so now a runner at third base, less than 2 outs, another easy possibility for another run.
And what is it about teams playing against Canada making errors? This is already the 3rd error by Curacao. That's 12 errors that Canada has been able to cash in on.
But the one thing I'll say is the errors by Curacao, they're aggressive errors, right? They're thrown to the right spot. It's just a mishandling of the ball. I think, unfortunately for Spitaleri, the catcher, he's got a great arm. The first one he overthrew, the second one he underthrew. He's just got to find the right tempo there and just get back to basics. He'll throw one on the bag before this day is over.
40 pitches already for Cleito Ferreras. And they will show bunt, a drag bunt. It's hit in no man's land. The flip to first is in time. It'll bring home a run. Gauthier crosses home plate on a beautiful sacrifice. Should Canada not challenge this play, and
there's a good chance they might look at this. It was a little indecision by Hinkle and a great drag bunt. I mean, he's bringing this perfect, exactly where he wants to as a left-handed hitter. Hinkle didn't think he had help at second base, but it sure looked like as the runner scores, Gauthier for number 3, it's 3-0 Canada. It looks like they're going to take a look at this at first base.
And I think this is a good challenge here. If we get another look at this, I want you to take a look at DeCaster's right foot.
Okay.
As Tremblay's making his way to first, take a look at DeCaster's right foot. Or his left foot, excuse me. See?
Yeah.
It's up.
That's a good call, Steph. And it looks like it's up. There was just, it looked like Hinkle didn't realize that DeCaster was being a heads-up defender and getting over there to help him out at first base, and he's late with the pitch. It probably would have been easy out, but unaware that DeCaster was there, maybe the communication wasn't exactly right. As you see that foot off of the bag as Tremblay hits the first base orange bag for safety, and it looks like he's going to be safe at home, or safe at first base, and also that run scores. We were talking about the potential bunt down as, you know, the third base line. He brings it with him, which is the right call when that third baseman's in on the grass, and catches Curacao a little bit unaware. Canada doing all the right things here early.
Bit surprised at Curaçao's defensive alignment. They're keeping the defense back. I think they trust their offense, obviously, to come back in this game. But it's allowed Canada some opportunities for infield hits to put pressure on that defense. And here's maybe our best look. Watch that left foot. It is up, and that yellow cleat is down before the magenta cleat of Curacao. We're really pulling out all the colors. I'm Bob Ross today.
We love the fact these kids are wearing all the highlighter colors, because for us old folk, it's hard to see.
It is. 1 foot in the grave over here.
Yeah.
I'm 26.
I'm going to be turning.
These kids.
Yeah, right.
They're calling me Unc.
Exactly. I'm grandpa, about to turn 40.
We'll see what the call is. And they're going to say the runner's out.
The runner is out at first base.
Okay, so the call is upheld. It is a sacrifice. RBI for Gabriel Tremblay. Canada will take it. Now a 3-run lead for the Canadians with nobody aboard and 2 away. Back to the top of the order we go with Nathaniel Cote.
At the plate, number 9, Nathaniel Cote.
His favorite player, Ernie Clement, who was the top vote getter in the All-Star game for the American League. Pretty cool story for Clement. DFA'd by 2 teams and was part of a American League Championship Toronto Blue Jays team, then an All-Star this year. Who doesn't love a good underdog story?
Great story by him.
So an even count, 2-2. Canada scored 1 in the first and 2 here in the second. 2-2, handcuffs him back to the mound. Cleito Ferreras fields his position. And that's probably a good pick, the way Labonte set up, and he did try to go down and away, left a little bit too much of the plate. Stays an even count. 15-year-old Costa Fernandez playing left field for Curacao. Just a touch outside. (3-2) down and away. A good start for Curacao. They draw a leadoff walk.
Couple runs in the top of the second for Canada and a leadoff walk to Curacao. The best way to bring a team back into this game is to give them free passes. Canada starts off the bottom of the second with one. We'll see if they're able to get out of this without that run scoring.
Davy J. Rica, and he is the center fielder for Curacao. Showed off a cannon of an arm on what ended up becoming an error last inning. These guys play baseball at a very high level. Curacao. Rica speaks 4 different languages. He'll serve that down the right field line. Going to be tough for Gauthier to get. He won't. It drops down. Acosta Fernandez cuts the bag at second. He's into third, and Rica belly flops into second with a double.
Nice job by Rica going the other way. This ball tails away from Gauthier in the outfield. It's a breaking pitch, stays on it. Like I said, wonderful job staying with it. And you can see the way that ball's hit off the bat, it's going to move away from Gauthier. He's able to get it in, but not in time to get the runner at second base. A double for Rica and some trouble brewing. Second and third, nobody out here for Curacao.
Well, you knew this was going to be a ball game after the first inning when Canada came out to play. You figured Curacao was going to be ready for the task. All their success in the Senior League Baseball World Series. Jaliard Emperador has 2 in scoring position and nobody out. No better position as a hitter. Except maybe bases loaded, nobody out. Gordon, when you were in the major leagues and you had 2 in scoring position and nobody out, what was your approach?
Say it again? Sorry, I'm so sorry.
You heard that car horn honking, didn't you?
The car horn is playing some music out in the parking lot. I can't.
Is it good? Are you dancing?
Well, I mean, it's one of those things. I was thinking, can the owner of the car alarm, do they know their car's brand? You know, what does it sound like? It's almost
right.
like, you know what I'm saying?
Like, do you know if your child is crying?
Right.
Yes.
That's a great way to put it.
Yes.
Thank you, Stephen. For somebody that doesn't have a child, that's really impressive that you know that.
Not that I know of. Ball at 2 strikes. Popped up. But that'll twist out of play, despite the better efforts of Arsenault. What I was asking was, in your playing career, when you had runners second and third, nobody out, what was the approach for you?
So second and third, nobody out. We're going to go with the left-handed batter right here. It's about getting something out in front on the ground, okay? Try to find a way to hit the ball to the right side of the infield. That's going to move the runner over and get a run in, especially with the way the defense is playing right now.
Instead, a ball goes all the way to the backstop. Late to cover is Bilodeau. A diving try by Labonte, and a head-first dive from Acosta Fernandez gives Curacao their first run.
Yeah, good read right here by Acosta Fernandez. Went immediately as this ball gets past Labonte. We've seen a lot of these pass balls come right back to the catcher, and this one's no different. Unfortunately, hits off that netting, and they're unable to get the streaking Acosta Fernandez before he gets to home plate. 1 run across now for Curacao as the infield for Canada comes in to try to cut down the next run from scoring.
2-2 pitch. It was fastball away. Nice job by Emperador to cover that. Now with the infield in, I have to think that the mentality is to hit the ball as hard as you can.
Yeah, hit the ball as hard as you can. The best way to do it would be get it up in the air in the middle part of the field.
2-2, breaking ball never broke. So Canada showing some struggles against this Curacao offense in the bottom of the second. Full count. It's low and outside, and now the tying runs are aboard. Happens in the blink of an eye, doesn't it, Gordon?
Sure does. couple walks, and that's when trouble starts to brew. And you know, I like what Bilodeau's doing. I like his stuff, but he's got to find the strike zone right here. These Curacao hitters clearly know a strike zone when they see it, and they're taking pitches almost out of the hand from Bilodeau. So clearly some advanced approaches.
Tamir Mojin. He'll take on the inner corner, 0-1. His favorite food is rice with chicken.
I like rice with chicken.
Who doesn't? It's great, especially if you want to be an athlete, in shape.
Get some carbs.
Get some carbs, get some protein.
You would know something about that, right?
Or the carbs part, unfortunately. And he chases up and out of the zone. A big first out for Bilodeau, his first strikeout of the afternoon. One away.
Yeah, big strikeout right here by Bilodeau. He didn't get the pitch where he wanted it, but it was effective. Breaking pitch, and it kind of backed up on him, top of the zone. Never got down there, but an aggressive motion, and he swings through it. See that ball above his shoulders. That's going to be hard to hit. Still first and third, though, only one out.
Haven't seen that yet. That breaking ball was filthy to Shamar Sophia Jacobus. Both of these pitchers, to their credit, when base runners have gotten aboard, they've started to pitch a lot more aggressively.
Yeah, Canada's got an opportunity for a double play, but they're going to have to be quick with that feed, because it sure looks like Curacao can run, especially when you see the oven mitt in the back right pocket of Jacobus.
Imperador goes to second. The ball is wild. It ricochets back to Laban. A good read at third by Rique. So runners on second and third. Only one out. That eliminates the double play. And now ball hit pretty much anywhere might make it a one-run game.
Yeah, they're going to stay back in the infield, I would suggest. That way they don't come all the way in and potentially get a little bleeder to get through the infield. They're still up 2 runs. You have 2 to give before losing the lead.
Another wild pitch. That one goes off the netting, and once again they hold up Rique at third.
And we've been talking a lot about this. We actually brought it up just a second ago when they did score, but a lot of these pitches, when the pass ball is getting past the catcher, it's generally coming right back to him. So there's a lot of caution there at third base, and actually really good reads by Curacao, because it's not a sure thing when that ball gets past the catcher.
2-1. Fastball smoked, but in the wrong direction. Inning began with a walk, then a double by Davy J. Rique, who stands on third. Walk by Jaliard Imperador, and a wild pitch moved him to second. So one away and a 2-2 pitch incoming. It's cut on and missed. Left it up, and Curacao didn't get it. They didn't send the runner off of a wild pitch. And now a chance to get out of it.
Yeah,
only
nice
one run of
pitch.
damage.
Nice pitch. Breaking ball right over the middle of the plate, and just fools Jacobus into swinging and missing. And a couple of huge strikeouts by Bilodeau. Got an opportunity to get out with only giving up 1 run.
High fly ball hit out to right. Gauthier tracking in the sunlight, makes the play, and Bilodeau escapes a big jam. He gives up a run, but only a run. It's 3-1 after 2. And I trust that offense. They showed some flashes in that bottom of the second inning that leads you to believe if Canada doesn't continue to add on, this is going to be a very high-stress game for them.
I agree. I think we're in store for quite the treat if they keep playing like they are right now. A lot of good opportunities to talk about some of the great stuff that we're seeing on the field, both good and educational, right? I mean, you can see what these guys are doing defensively for Curacao. It's high level, but right now they're just missing a little bit. When it's high, when you start throwing the ball as hard as they are around, it's going to be harder and harder to
Ground
watch.
ball to short. Weil rounds it. Sidearm throw to first is low. The stretch and the dig out is in time. What a play by Hakel.
And this is exactly what I'm talking about. A high-level play here by the shortstop, Weil. And you're going to see great view right here. He goes to it, he gets to it, charges it, a little bit throw up the line, but an excellent dig out by Hinkle. That was in between hop and a great play.
Big fella doing the splits over at the cold corner. It's 0-1 to Justin Paquette, and that's something that's going to pick your pitcher up.
Yeah, it should. It should give the pitcher a lot of confidence, right? If you've got a defense behind you making plays like that, allow your defense to work.
Paquette singled his last time up. It's that bunt single. Allowed runner to move into third. Remember, a bit of a wonky play. Cleto Ferreras fielded it. It was an errant throw to first. Second baseman DeCaster backed it up. His throw home was in time to retire Cote at the plate. So we could reasonably be in a situation where Canada is up 4-1. So with some of the struggles of Curaçao's defense, we also need to talk about some big plays they've already made.
That's right. They've been doing some pretty good work, even though they've got those errors up on the board.
Served into left. That's dropped in for a base hit. So one out single from Paquette. He's 2 for 2. And Canada continues to put pressure on Cleto Ferreras.
A couple nice swings by Paquette. This time going the other way. Lines that ball into left field. Nice swing by him. And Canada's had a base runner every inning, and they do the same here in the third.
Inside corner strike to Gaudreau. Huge hole on the right side should Gaudreau guide one that way. Will we see Paquette in motion? He holds up. Nice pick by Perez Spitaleri behind the dish. Canada has had runners in scoring position in each of the first 2 innings. They've scored runs in each of the first 2 innings. Trying to continue that trend here, up 3-1. And a good take. Hitters count. 3-1, runner going. Gaudreau swinging and fouling it off of his shin. That didn't feel good.
Right off the ankle. That did not feel good. Oh.
What does that feel like, Gordon? I'm sure you've had it happen many times in your career.
Yeah, it's not a good feeling, especially where it hit him. It's right above that ankle bone. There's no padding there, so it's going to be ball on bone. I don't blame him for having a hard time with this one. Credit him for trying to stay up with the bat, using it almost as if he had a cane. But that's going to sting, and it looks like, you know, he's probably a hockey player too, so he's probably going to rub some dirt on it and get right back out there. A lot of these Canadian players playing hockey in the winter.
He's hockey tough.
I know, Stefan, you probably would have left the game, right?
Absolutely. I was a lacrosse player, so, you know, one of Canada's 2 national sports. But the hockey guys, they're just a different breed. You think about just the concept of hockey. You're on ice, okay, it's cold. You're having people that can punch you at any time that they want to. A puck that can fly at you at hundreds of miles an hour. Oh, by the way, you're skating on razor blades. And it looks like Gaudreau is going to have his pound of flesh after all. Literally and figuratively, he moves on to first.
And he's sprinting down to first base to make sure he can do it. He gives the double thumbs up. Good for him. And never moved, and that's part of it. As long as you're not digging your arm back into the strike zone, that's totally allowed.
Candidate first base is going to be number 15, Jacob Henry.
So Gaudreau is limping off. I would assume that this pinch runner will remain in the game. That appears to be number 15, Jacob Henry. Medium to fair chance. His last name is Henry.
Henry?
Henry.
I love.
2-1.
Duran just painting the inside portion of that plate on the last pitch. He's been close on a couple, but a little bit in and off the two pitches before that one caught the corner.
Hit down the right field line. Did he keep it fair? It is just foul. Inside out swing. Could have been a lot of trouble for Curacao if that managed to kiss the chalk.
Yeah, it could have been trouble for sure. That ball just bleeds foul. Here's a good look at it. Right down the line and just foul by a couple feet.
Two. Hit to short. Weil flips to second. The throw to first.
Wow.
In time. What a double play. An off-balance throw to an off-balance throw to a pick at first. And Curacao puts up a 0 in the top of the third inning.
We were talking about the talent defensively for Curacao, and it was just on display. Ball hit to the shortstop's right. He ranges over there. Here we're going to get a great look at it. He ranges over there on the run, throws it, and a nice turn. Hitter got a bad jump out of the box, but no matter.
It's by matter of inches the last inning. Weil's father and uncle were both signed by major league teams. I believe his uncle was signed with the Minnesota Twins, his dad with the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah, it's good pedigree. Clearly he's got some talent.
Well,
high level of proficiency on defense too.
Curacao and Willemstad Curacao, to be even more specific, as Weil strikes out swinging. That's the third strikeout in the last 4 batters for Bilodeau.
Well, and one thing to look at too with these are just kids, right? But at the same time, you start to see some scouts come into the stands looking at these young Curacao guys that they might not get a great opportunity to. So they're taking a look at their swings, how they uncoil those leg kicks, and a lot of other things.
They have plenty of role models from Willemstad. Andrew Jones, Kenley Jansen, Ozzie Albies, just to name a few. And that one almost got a piece of Yadiel DeCaster.
I'm not sure how it didn't hit him. I believe it went in between his legs. He scissor kicked at home plate, and when he did, that ball went right in between. Yep.
Yeah, it did. Now a 3-0 count. Walks were an issue for Canada last inning. Walked a pair, they allowed a run. And he straightens it out to make it a 3-1 count. I like the balance of this lineup for Curacao. A lot of righties, but plenty of lefties too. As this is smoked to deep right. Gauthier twists, turns, and finds it for out number 2. Ball's carrying a bit in this South Carolina heat, but good outfield defense by Gauthier. He's made a couple of nice plays out there.
Yeah, even on a bum ankle, right? He just hit that ball off of his ankle, could barely walk, and now he's right back. He's the hockey player we thought he'd be.
Sure, Hinkle showed it off with the glove. He hits one out. This is right down the road in Greenville.
Right. It is.
They've been dealing with some of the weather snafus that we have.
Now batting number 18, York Arsenault.
It never rains in Easley. What are you talking about?
It only hydrates. First pitch is a strike to York Arsenault. He lined out on a laser beam to first. One of a couple of great plays made by Kishore Hinkle. This is the first full inning we'll get to see Duran on the mound. He induced a ground ball from Brian Labonte, a great double play by the middle infielders. You can see the movement on his stuff. That changeup was pretty. 1-2 pitch. Went to it again, just missed away. I think this guy likes pitching more than any other position. His favorite player of all time, his fellow countryman, Kenley Jansen.
Good guy to emulate, especially if you want to be on the mound.
He's had a pretty good career, I'd say. Ground ball hit weakly to the right side. Hinkle fields the feed to first. And it looked like the pitcher missed the bag. A late out call by the first base umpire, Ronnie McCoy. There's your first out.
Yeah, Hinkle might have bit off a little bit more than he wanted to chew right here. You've got DeCaster right behind him for an easy play, but he goes over there and gets it and makes it a little bit more complicated, but it does look like they get the out at first. A good job by Duran to get over there and field his position. And if that ball's hit to the right side of the infield, the catcher generally is screaming over, 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 and if you do that, that means for the pitcher to get over and cover first just in case. He did, and they got the out.
So a couple of ground balls from Duran. Corner infielders in with McMahon at the plate. Curacao needs a stopper here. They need a guy that can consistently put up zeros so they can come back in this game. Ball and 2 strikes to Leo McMahon. The great pool player, the billiards boy. One, two, down and in. McMahon singled, then reached second on a wild pitch and scored on a throwing error by the catcher Perez Spitaleri back in the second. 2-2. Outside corner called strike 3. That's on the black. Straight heat from Duran. His first strikeout of the afternoon, and 2 are retired.
Yeah, if he's got his paint out, it's colored black right on the edge. And a good job by Spitaleri behind the plate to show the umpire, hey, caught it. I'm going to leave it right there for you, and that's strike 3.
A little erratic. That was the first big miss we've seen from Duran. After you stick a pitch like he did to McMahon, maybe you get a little too excited with some of your other stuff and try to throw it harder than maybe you should. Jeremy Gauthier. On the inside corner. His favorite food is poutine.
Whose isn't?
Really accomplishes all of the nutrients that you need in a balanced diet.
That's a good announcer's diet, you know?
It's great. There's a reason why we call it the broadcast body. 3-1. Up and in. So a 2-out walk will bring up Gabriel Tremblay, who's out at first on a bang-bang play via the drag bunt.
Now batting number 7, Gabriel Tremblay.
They were talking about it the other day on Cardinals broadcast, the team I work for when I'm not doing this, because they were visiting Toronto. Did you know that in Canada they sell milk in a bag?
Talk me through that, Stefan.
I don't know that I can. I feel like I don't have the cultural experience to fathom milk in a bag.
Milk in a bag.
Milk in a bag. I'm assuming it's whole milk in a whole bag.
Well, hopefully there are no holes in the bag, because that would
sort of defeat the purpose.
Spill the milk.
That would spill the milk.
As we return to baseball.
It's 1-2.
So they don't like cartons?
I'm not here to say what
Sure seems like you are.
Our neighbors to the north prefer or don't in their dairy consumption. But what I do know is that they serve milk in bags.
They
now,
come in
high school.
In gallon bags?
1-2 is outside. In high school, I was referred to as milk bag at a point in time or another. Now, that was when I really enjoyed eating Chick-fil-A most days of the week.
It's the only way you can get 4 liters.
That's true. Milk bag. I didn't realize there was any significance to that name until just a few days ago when I found out the niche packaging of milk products. Didn't think we'd get to this point in the broadcast, but here we are. And the crazy part about it, it's a 2-run game.
Well, it's okay to go down the rabbit trail every once in a while. I'm just interested, like, once you put the milk bag into your refrigerator, what happens when, like, it gets halfway? Are you, like, putting it on its side? Are you standing it straight up? Is there a...
It becomes half and half. 2-2%. Driven right back up the middle. It takes a big spin, racing to the bag as well. He will beat out Jeremy Gauthier. The side retired. Good work from Duran. A lot of base runners every inning. He's been pretty economical with his pitch count. That was pitch number 51. Now, how long they let him go remains to be seen. Canada has a chance to go 2-0 in the most unlikely of odds after how they started off the tournament. He's ahead in the count, 1-2 to Joshua Acosta Fernandez. Walked and later scored the only run for Curacao.
At the plate for Curacao, number 8, Joshua Acosta Fernandez.
You always wonder what a coach's thought process is when he's deciding who's going to start each game, because you're guaranteed 2 games. It's double elimination.
Yeah.
I think many of us would go back and agree with the decision of Benoit Blaise. Even though his starting pitcher struggled against Czechia, they got the win. As there's strike 3. Strikeout number 4, the first of the looking variety for Thomas Bilodeau. And he's now sat down 7 in a row.
Yeah, he looks very good. He's been able to hit his spots and stay away from the barrels of these Curacao hitters. We're going to look at one look right there, just off the edge of the plate, on gets the call, and Curacao didn't like it, but you know, it's hard to throw strikes at this level, so it's nice to see a little bit of grace being given on the edges of the plate, because he executed the pitch he was trying to throw. Hit the mitt, gets the call. Happens in the big leagues too.
I think all of us will agree that we want to see less walks. Big league level,
100%.
at the senior league level, and I rather like that style of umpiring. Now it's 3-0, but the point I was making earlier is you probably had Bilodeau ready to start this game. You look across the way and see what Curacao is as a baseball nation, one of the favorites in this tournament, and who knows what it would look like if somebody else had taken the ball. So 1-out walk is issued to Davy J. Rique.
Well, I can promise you that if the guys that started the last game for Canada came out and because they threw a lot of walks, if they were doing that against this Curacao team, they might be in deep trouble right now. So I think that they were able to manage a little bit of a tougher game for them on the last one, where they weren't playing their best ball, but now they've got one of their horses on the mound and they start to have a lot of confidence with that. And we'll see how it progresses. Obviously, Bilodeau's been good, but it can change at the blink of an eye.
We'll see how this bottom part of the order works as the runner goes. The throw comes into second. It's a strike, but it's cut off by Dauphiné. Didn't let it travel. Not sure they would have been able to get the speedy Davy J. Rique. But a good lead. How about this jump right here, Gordon?
Really good jump. I mean, I thought there was a chance to throw him out at second, but as you can see, the speed right there from Rique, just too much for Labonte and the shortstop Dauphiné.
So Imperador in an 0-2 hole. Remember, a few wild pitches by Bilodeau in this game. You get that runner to third. Who knows if you could make it a 1-run game. This is flared into center. Paquette finds it. The throw's going to come into third. It's cut off by Dauphiné. And they're going to appeal, maybe throw back to second. We'll see if Rique left early. They're asking for it. He's unaware of what to do. I think, Gordon, if you told me this was going to be a 3-1 game in the 6th, I wouldn't have believed you.
I would be right there with you. I mean, with the offense that we've seen from both Canada and we know that the ability of Curacao, it is a testament to the pitching staffs of both of these teams to keep the number low. And also, the defense has been excellent on both sides. It's been a treat for us to watch.
That it has. 1-2 pitch. And Labonte keeps on fighting. Made the comment that Thomas Bilodeau has been the most impressive pitcher that I've seen so far in the tournament. As this is turned on, slashed down the left field line, and Acosta Fernandez can't quite get to it in time. Right behind him, Duran.
Yeah, Duran's been excellent, and both these guys have really good stuff, too. You're watching it unfold in real time. I mean, there's some zip on their fastball, some good break on their breakers, and they're mixing in changeups as well. So some high quality from both sides today in the early game here for us.
1-2 pitch. Foul ball after foul ball after foul ball. How tiring is that as a hitter, and how frustrating is that as a pitcher?
You know, it's good as a hitter. The more pitches you see, the better off you are. And as a pitcher, it's got to be frustrating to keep spoiling those pitches. Another one.
The 1-2 pitch again. Outside corner. He snaps off a breaking ball. Nothing you could do with that. 2 down in the top of the 6th.
Excellent spot by Duran. He wins the battle. A lot of foul balls right there. It was a good battle by Labonte, but it ends up with a strikeout. Looking wonderful spot. Breaking pitch down and away from Labonte, and it's out number 2 here in the top of the 6th.
So Yorick Arsenault. It's change up for strike 1. Look, if somehow Curacao can come back in this game and eventually move on to maybe the international championship or even the final, this is probably the guy that I'd say you're taking the ball.
Well, you never know what their arsenal is, right? They might even have some more arms lined up. Either way, he's really solid. He's been coming in here throwing all 3 pitches for strikes, and that's pretty incredible. It looks like that one hits him. And the umpire, Jawan Bosch, says no, it didn't. And a little bit of miscommunication between home plate umpire Bosch and Arsenault. It looks like it hits him on the back knee, right?
Yeah, it might have gotten him on the front toe, too.
Well, so I think that's, yeah, potentially, but that Bosch was looking at the front foot, which I do believe it misses, but I think when it hits the ground, it comes up and hits his back leg on the way through. His left knee. Arsenault can't believe it. They're going to have a conversation and see what the call is on the field, and then depending on that call, we might get a review.
Here's another look. I think the most important thing to look at here is the ball changed direction. So they will grant him the hit by pitch. He sprints up the first base line. But it puts a little bit of pressure on Duran.
A lot in Atlanta, and excellent human being.
Congratulations to Andrew Jones. You can see Hensley Bam Bam Mullins. Ironically, Curacao could use a Bam or 2. They're down by a pair. That misses inside to Yadiel DeCaster. Bit of a surprise to see Curaçao's offense coming out flat. In the regional, they scored 10 or more runs in 4 of their 5 games, scored 19 or more in each of the first 2 games.
But you do have to credit some defense for Canada. They've found a way to wiggle out of some of these extreme cases where there were some people in scoring position, and then, you know, to end last inning, a great play by the second baseman Tremblay to save a run. This game could very easily be tied up.
You think about Curacao, the gauntlet they had to go through in the regional. They did play at home, but in the championship, they defeated our 2025 Senior League World Series champion, Guaynabo, Puerto Rico, to advance here to Easley. Right now, Curacao can't buy a break against Thomas Bilodeau. He's striking out hitters. He's putting the baseball on the ground and trusting his defense, and that's a lethal combo.
It really is, but now you're running up against a pitch count, right? He's got 90. He can't throw over 95, so he can start a batter and finish a batter if he does get through Hinkle before 95 pitches. So something to watch right there. He potentially can get through this inning.
Well, let's say you get a ground ball here, or on the next pitch, or even the pitch after that at pitch 94. You'll still have the opportunity to pitch the next hitter. But he's going to have at least 4 days of rest. Canada could be sitting pretty with a 2-0 record. Right now, it's missing high.
Well, that's the way to draw it up, right? You go 2-0 in this, you are really in the driver's seat. So a good start so far by Canada. They're still in the driver's seat as we speak.
So it's favorable count for Kishore Hinkle. He swings and misses. So with this pitch, Bilodeau will be done. And what a note to end it on. Strikes out Hinkle. That's a 7-strikeout game for Thomas Bilodeau. 2 retired in the bottom of the 6th inning. And at 95 pitches on the dot, he's going to get a standing ovation from the Canadian crowd. Here's that sidearm delivery. It's right between sidearm and 3/4. Almost a 2/3 delivery, if you will.
Well, that's good fractional math. And it's 3-0, so he hasn't been able to find the exact slot so far. We'll see what he lands on in terms of. And we got the first base umpire calling time.
And it looks like Alcantara has some wrist wear that maybe you're not allowed to have on the field. Three balls and no strikes. We've seen it over and over again, Gordon. Walks can be a killer. 2-out walk could give a little spark to this Curacao team. 3-0. There's a strike.
It's almost a gift in a way because he got another pitch off that didn't count. He missed on that pitch, but then realized, hey, I got to get the release point here, and he misses up again. So struggling to find that release point right now, but he better figure it out quick because Curaçao's got a little momentum.
One of the biggest differences in this game, Curaçao's 1 through 5 in the order is a combined 0 for 12. They have drawn 3 walks and scored a run, but it's the bottom part of the order, 6 through 8 especially, that have caused the most trouble for Canada. All 3 of them have reached base.
Well, one way or another, I think this is probably a good meeting right here by the Canada coaching staff. They got to settle Alcantara down a little bit, make sure that he understands, hey, you got to finish down. Think about downhill. You've got that 3/4 delivery, which promotes missing up. So for me, got to remind him, hey, fall down towards the plate, really hold on to that ball a little bit longer, and when you do, you'll probably get it below the zone.
Davy J. Riquet has doubled and walked. He's been the most productive offensive player for Curacao. His double down the right field line set up Joshua Acosta Fernandez at third base. A wild pitch brought him home. He'll look to replicate that swing here. Might not have anything to swing at. That ball pops away from Labonte. The throw has no chance at second. Now a runner in scoring position.
Well, if Alcantara can't figure it out here to get the strikes, my guess is they're going to move on pretty quickly because this is a dire situation. There's 2 outs. They need just 1 to get to the top of the 7th. And that's 2 walks.
So back-to-back walks. We'll see how long the leash is for Alcantara. This part of the order, 5, 6, and 7, have drawn 5 walks. 5 of the game's 6 walks. It's a patient eye at the plate. 2 tying runs aboard. Jalliard and Parador. Flew out to center. Part of that wonky double play. In the 4th inning, Alcantara straightens that out and splits the plate.
That was more like it. He got downhill on that one through a strike. Needs to have more of that.
Shot to left. Will it hang up? McMahon is there, and the side is retired. The right idea, but you know, they don't feel comfortable with just a 2-run lead, especially with some of the command issues from Alcantara last inning. There's a strike. The 0-1 pitch. Down and in. Jacques started in the first game for Canada. Had 2 RBIs. Also scored a run. And you guessed it, he drew a walk.
Hard not to do in that game, right?
You can look at Canada as 2 different teams, from who they were in the 1st through 3rd innings against Czechia, to where they were in the 2nd half of that game, to right now.
Right, where they won basically 13-3 after giving up that 8 spot in the top of the 1st.
2-2 pitch. He gave him the hook.
Wild, pretty solid shortstop, but he's also showing pretty good aptitude on the mound as well. Firm fastball, as you would expect from a guy that has an arm that can play shortstop, and then also a good breaker there for out number 2. Looking strike out for Jacques. 2 quick outs for Wild.
So 2 retired, and back to the top of the order we go. Just missed. Cote very patient. Malik Dauphiné waits on deck. 3-1 pitch. Too far inside.
Now batting for Team Canada, number 13, Malik.
So a ground out, a strikeout, and a walk. That's how the inning begins for Weil.
I would think about sending Cote right here. An extra run would be absolutely huge. You get him into scoring position, and then a base hit more than likely has an opportunity to score him. So try to be aggressive and make sure you can scratch a run. You've already got the lead right here. No sense in waiting around. Obviously a guy on the mound that can really throw that fastball, so hopefully you run on a breaking ball count.
Runners staying put, almost. Saw the baseball get to the backstop. That's some real velocity from Weil there. A lot of these players are getting more and more used to velocity.
There he
Runner
goes.
going, got a good jump. He'll steal second easily, but the swing and miss makes it a 1-2 count.
Yeah, he took off before Weil even started to go towards the plate, so no chance.
His last time up, he takes strike one.
Sure seems to have figured it out over the break from the bottom of the sixth to now. That's 2 quick strikes.
Sometimes that's all you need, is a moment to just talk to somebody else about it. Maybe the coaches saw something in his delivery. Straighten things out a bit. 1-2. On the ground and through for a base hit. So an emphatic response by Tamir Mojan. He is a little Energizer bunny for Curacao. When he gets on base, you see the emotion and excitement.
Yeah, great job by Mojan to get on first. You can see the excitement by him. He's not the tying run, but that brings the tying run to the plate. So a huge leadoff batter for Curacao, and he does exactly what he's supposed to. He gets on base, and now Curacao has some opportunities moving forward.
So Curacao is going to employ a pinch hitter.
For Curacao, number 14, Alexander Pravachia Roach.
Alexander Pravachia Roach. .5'11", 143 pounds. So they like him in this spot. How quickly do they move with Mojan?
Also got to look for a potential bunt here. Bunt for a hit. It's not a sacrifice. But with a guy like Roach, when he comes in, you know, sometimes it's hard to take hacks right off the bench.
He'll take strike one. Curacao staying patient. What we saw last inning, you don't blame that game plan. Canada needs 3 outs. Probably feels like 10 right now. Ground ball back to the mound. Alcantara throws to second in time. The turn to first is going to be late. A hard slide into second base. Well, we'll see if they challenge this.
The interesting part about this, I believe that Mojan actually either puts his hand up or gets in the way of that ball, because the ball did something super funny. But I thought for sure that he was out at second base, which great feed by Alcantara to the shortstop, Dauphiné. We're going to look at it again here. So the tapper back to the mound, great feed right here, and then let's see what happens. Yeah, so it looks like the hand goes up from the runner Mojan and gets in the way of the ball. So this could, yep, he puts his hand up and puts his hand where the ball was heading up for a sure double play. And this is going to be an interesting call. I'm not sure they can challenge it, but if they could, it'd be a good challenge, because it sure looked like
interference.
Yeah, it looked like Mojan interfered with the throw on purpose.
So the tying run is up.
Now batting, number 9, Daniel Perez Spitaleri.
It's the top of the order, Daniel Perez Spitaleri. He's 0 for 3. Alcantara is missing by the smallest of margins, 2-0. That was better. Now it's 3-1. Big pitch in this game.
Huge pitch.
Runner going, 3-1 pitch. Throw down to second is offline, and another stolen base for Curacao. That was a heads-up play by the catcher, Daniel Perez Spitaleri. Unselfish play at that. Letting that baseball pass so that his teammate could swipe second. He read the jump. 3-2. Outside ball 4. Tying runs aboard, only one out. And guess who's coming up?
I was just about to say it. One of their best players, the shortstop, who also came in the top of the 7th and mowed Canada down. He is up to the plate. He's just missed a couple of doubles down the left field line, hooking a few of these line drives just foul. So if he straightens it out, it could be a tie ball game.
You knew Curacao wasn't going to go quietly. This is spun to short. On the ground. Dauphiné bobbles. Throw to first. Is in time. Gaudreau with a fantastic pick at first. Might have saved a run. Definitely got the second out. But the 2 tying runs are in scoring position.
And this ball had a lot of English. You see this kind of a bouncer that was handcuffed the hitter Weil, and a great job and good stretch by Gaudreau at first base. They get an out, but the tying run is in scoring position.
A single pretty much ties it, depending on where it's hit. Outfield playing deep, which is a surprise. Don't want anything over their heads. You load the bases, things get really interesting.
Well, how big was the fact that Mojan put his hand up and knocked that ball down? This game would be over right now.
Two one, too high.
Absolutely huge pitches coming up right now. It's 3-1, 3-1. There's 2 outs and the tying runs on second base. Base open at first base as well.
3-1 pitch. Popped up. Who's gonna get it? Lot of spin. Tremblay into right. He's got it. And Canada defeats Curacao and improves to 2-0 in the Senior League World Series.
The Canadians celebrating on the field. They know how big that win against a juggernaut like Curacao is. They are fired up, and just when you thought Curacao was about to get back in this game and potentially tie it up, the Canadians get through that inning and win. They are 2-0.